Hey people, welcome back to the Man Cave. This video is all about the HG 1144 Red Gundam. This one's part of a new series of Gundam G-Quacks models. It's come highly recommended by one of the other subscribers for my channel, so I figured I'd pick this one up, I'd give it a whirl and we'll get it built. Grab yourself a brew, let's go for it. Okay, so this one is the Red Gundam. It's part of the HG series, but this is a really new one. I think it's part of like the G-Quacks, I think effectively everybody calls it, but it's part of a new group of Gundam models that are coming out and they're supposed to be really, really good. This one was recommended to me by one of the people in the comments, Sirius Jones 515. He'd said that all of this range of HGs are wicked. I have heard the same thing, so I thought I would give this a go on that recommendation. Just so you know, if you do recommend the model, I will look at it. This is definitely one that was on my radar. With what Sirius Jones said, it was definitely one to pick up. So let's get this one open. Let's see what's in the box. Okay, so this one was £19.99 from IntoTheHobbyverse over in sale in Manchester. So first things we've got are the G sprues and the F sprues. Really kind of a pinky red. I don't know how well that's going to pick up on the camera, but quite a pink sort of colour rather than a deep red. And then you've got some grey parts here, look like bits of accents, and we've got a dreaded set of stickers. I might use these, I'm not sure if there actually is a transfer kit for this available, so we'll see what they're like, but I might use these. I'm led to believe that the actual colour separation for this is pretty good, but we will see. So we've obviously got beam saber pieces here, that's SB13. We've got the D sprue, which appears to be the shield for the unit, and then an E sprue, which are some orange accents. That same kind of pink colour, pretty sure that's the same. Yeah, same sort of tone of pink colour for some other bits. I think these are like ball, I want to say they're like bombs, but they're balls that come with this as part of the weaponry, so that should be interesting to throw that one together. And then we've got the C sprue, the set of, oh no, it's not a set of decals. I thought that was a set of decals, but it's actually just another set of stickers there. And we've got some more bits. So this is the A sprue then. It is a multi-coloured sprue, so we've got bits of black pieces on, bits of armour in the pink, and then bits of armour in the red. So that should give us a couple of bits of contrasting colours, but that is it. It's not an awful lot of plastic. There's a lot of different bits on the sprues, which is cool. They managed to cram a load of pieces into one sprue, so that's probably why there's just not that many sprues. Still feels fairly weighty. And then we've got the instructions, which are here. So, fold out instructions, oh yeah. Okay, so fold out instructions, very similar to the Zaku that I made the other day. Where are we starting here? Okay, so this starts off looking at it with the head, works our way down to the body. This section is all in colour, which is cool, and then it moves to black and white. Not sure why that happens or whether there's any disadvantage to that, but we'll find out while we're making it. Usual cool bits to do with weaponry and where bits are being put on. Yeah, a little bit. This has got some very different kind of weapons, so there's a little bit more information in them builder's notes. Bit of a coloured section here just to show you what it looks like. So quite dynamic poses within the artwork. I'm hoping that that's going to transfer through. This is one of those HG Gundams which seems to have that level of detail which you would normally attribute to like an RG or something similar. So I'm quite excited to make this one. The fact that it's pretty much brand new means it's going to be good. So I've got high hopes. That is your section where we look at what sprues we've got and we can check off what we've got within the kit. It does look to be right, to be honest, just from that quick scan. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this made. Okay, head built. Now this is probably one of the most complicated heads I've ever built, made of multiple parts, probably over 10 parts for this little bit. Builds up the detail quite nicely, but a couple of areas where things get a little bit fiddly. There are stickers for the eyes on both sides. They are tiny. They're on this little sheet here. They're these ones, and yeah, they're very, very hard to get in. Likewise, there is a lens on the rear of this helm, just here, and that is absolutely tiny. So that one makes a bit of a difference if you don't put that one on, but these ones are actually coloured blue underneath, so it doesn't matter too much if you don't put it on. But you can see the blue colour coming through the camera at the top there. It just is really, really fiddly, but really, really detailed. I have cut these off. They have got like a thickening bit on the end of them as it comes out of the actual box, and I've just cut them off and sharpened them up. I just think that looks better. It looks more like a Gundam. So we'll moving on to the body, and we'll get that cracked off. Right, torso made. Again, loads of detail in this, and it's basically made up of loads of little intricate pieces in order to sort of gain the layers and gain the detail. But looks really, really cool. So head slots in there. It's kind of got a weird look to it because of the way that the colours are, but I'm going to reserve judgment until the end. I think the colours just seem to look a little bit different from what I expected, and what I expected was on the box art. So that was nice. There's not a lot of articulation there, is what I would say. There's not even much movement sideways, so that's a bit weird for a Gundam. Normally you can do some sort of ab crunch, but maybe there's flexibility within the lower torso that's going to help out. Don't know. We'll move on. We're going to go on to the arms. I'll build both the arms and then we'll put them together. Okay, so both arms made. Quite a bit of detail in little sort of extra bits that stick out. Again, a load of little parts. These bits that are in the shoulder area here are a bit tricky, and you've just got to watch how they go in. I found it a bit difficult at first, but managed to work it out. There's a part of a nub that you can see inside that area, which you've got to line up and make sure you've got the correct side. So that's quite good. The colour separation is ace because of things like that, and the level of detail is there in some of these grooves where I think it's going to look quite good when we Gundam mark it up. But very fiddly and very small is the only sort of negative. So if we push these on, that is that side, that is the other. Now, is that me? So that seems to be working as I would expect, but this one, not so much. Okay, I might have done that one wrong, so we'll have a look at that. Okay, so I might have done this one wrong, and that's why that isn't allowing me to move it as I want to. So I'll have a double check, but I think effectively the shoulder pad there probably just needs taking apart, and then there'll be a nub on the bit that articulates through. But this one's working okay. Got a bit of articulation there. Not a lot of detail in the hands is what I would say. That's obviously made to hold one of the weapons, and yeah, generally it's just a bit on the small side. I don't know if it's because I've been working on the Zaku, but you know, just for comparison, that's an RX-78 next to it, and it just feels a little bit small. I think next bit coming up is the waist section, so I'll make the waist and then we'll see where we go from there. I think we've got legs to go, and we won't be a million miles off the actual model being complete. Okay, the waist is ridiculously quick to make. It's only about 5 pieces in total. But I think that goes on there like that. So with the waist done, we're going to move on to the left and right legs. Then we've got the backpack to make, and then we are into the weaponry. Okay, both legs made. Extremely pink legs. They call this a Red Gundam, but it actually looks massively pink. I don't know if it's meant to be like that or what. But that is the pinkest Gundam I've ever seen. Legs are brilliant. Articulation looks okay. No massive issues there. It's got a good amount of detail in the legs, but it's nowhere near as intricate as, say, the RG. So albeit this is quite good for a HG, it's not amazing. Enjoyable to put together, no massive issues with putting the pieces of the legs together and sort of interlocking them. Side nubs are okay. There are some nubs that show up on the model, but they're not horrendous. And the way the side nubs have been done is pretty good, so that when you do cut it, you get quite a clean cut, even though they're on some very strange angles. Colour separation again is alright. The pieces that are used to make up some of these detail are really quite good. If they wanted to do this cheaply, they could have basically put some of those bits together and just kept it as one piece, but they have separated them out, and it does seem to work to just bring another level of detail to that model. I'm kind of looking forward to marking this up because, again, similar to the arms, there's quite a lot of detail in the legs, which I think is going to show through when it's all marked up. But yeah, weapons to go. In fact, backpack to go first, and then weapons to go through. I'll get through them, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the model. Okay, so quick run through the weapons then. There's quite a bit with this one. We've obviously got the backpack here. That one has got your 2 beam sabers, which are into the backpack, and you can make them into proper beam sabers like that. So a nice pink beam saber beam, and then a pink handle that goes on to there like that, and then that in turn goes into the back of the model. We've got a standard beam rifle, very similar to the stuff we sort of see with the RX-78s. It's got that targeting array system that's on there that moves, and it's got a bit of a turned handle, so that you can have one hand on here and another hand onto this part. What you do get, which is a bit weird, is you only get one other hand. So you've got the 2 hands that hold on to things here, and then you've got this one open hand system as well, which you can swap out for the right hand. Not really sure what the limitation on hands is, but it's worth noting that's not normal for any kind of Gundam. Even the HGs, we tend to have a couple more hands than that. We have got this rather cool hammer. It kind of feels like it's missing a trick in that it should have some big spikes on it. Something similar to what I got with the Fat Cat RX-78. But what is really cool is this intricate chain system, which comes on a double molded sprue, which you have to basically snip off all the way through. It's a bit of a pain to snip off, but once it's done, you've actually got this really cool articulated chain. But the good thing with it is it means that you can put it out. If you get the angle right, you can put it out and you can actually hang the ball in a position, and I quite like that. There is these other items here which I think are called bits. There's a bit of information there in the back of the instructions to say that there's some sort of wireless guided terminals, which are some sort of psychic communication targeting array type thing. not sure, really not sure about the legitimacy from the anime and stuff like that, but I imagine that this is some sort of cool weapon. You also get a shield. Shield's really nice. It's very similar to an RX-78 shield in its actual style, but you get this sticker decal that goes onto the shield, which looks like it's slightly damaged. You've got a choice of this one or that one, which is more of a hole symbol. This one's a bit more like it's battle damaged or worn, which is cool. I put that one on. It is a bit fiddly. It doesn't really like going over this ridge here. I am going to heat it up with a hairdryer just to get it to stick on there properly. I've said this time and time again, but I'm just not a massive fan of the stickers. So I've left off the other bits of stickers that are here. Just not a huge fan at all. So I'm quite happy to have this like this, and then what I'll do is I will Gundam mark this up. But quite a good range of weapons and bits and pieces considering it's a HG. So let me gather my thoughts together on the whole model process, and I will give you my thoughts on this one. Okay, so thoughts on the Red Gundam. First of all, it's not really red, it's mainly pink. Bit of a bugbear for me, but if we ignore the actual colour of it and talk about the quality wise, this is a pretty good quality kit. Plastics are really good, there's a high level of detail within the plastics, but I would say it's almost overcomplicated. There are so many layers to some of the smaller parts, it's unbelievable. I think the simplest part that I've actually had is in the groin when there was about 5 pieces. Everything other than that, legs wise, it feels like there are more pieces to this than I have dealt with an RG. That does give a level of detail which is quite cool, but even when it's been marked up, it's not really to the standard and the level that I thought it was going to be. It feels a little bit, for me, overhyped. I'm on the fence with it a little bit, this one. So articulation wise, this thing is fairly articulate. It's made really for a stand, I would say. It's quite small, it's quite fiddly, it's not really one where you can balance it easily, mainly because it's got some small feet and it's got some very sort of long limbs and thin limbs. It definitely lends itself to having a stand of its own. That said though, you can pose it. The articulation is very good in both the arms and the legs. The only thing I noticed was there isn't a lot of movement in the torso, so there's no ab crunch there. There's nothing really to enable you to make some really out of this world kind of poses as far as I can see. We all know by now that I'm not the greatest Gundam poser, so maybe it's me and my inability to be able to get the model to pose in some extreme ways. But I think the missing thing from this is a stand. I think when you get it on a stand, you'll be able to actually put it into some really cool in-flight poses. Weapons. The cool thing with this is it does come with a very different array of weapons. The normal standard of having a rifle is met, but there's no bazooka. This thing's got a massive ball and chain, which kind of looks like it needs a load of spikes on the end of it, but it's got its own articulate chain, and this thing was quite epic. When I took that off the sprue, it was clear that it was one of them moulded systems where it's got several different layers to it that have been moulded into one, and then you pick it apart, and that's what gives it the articulation, because each one of those actual links are linked together. It enables you to be able to take the actual weapon and you can move it and mould it, which gives quite a lot of opportunities when we were talking about posability before, for you to create something a little bit different, especially if you're able to get that thing onto a stand. There's no way on this earth you're going to be able to put this weapon in the hand of this model and stand it up in such a way that it's going to create something really cool. You are definitely going to need that stand at that point in time. That said, there's also a couple of different weapons that are here which also can go on stands, and I've seen that as part of sort of display on both the box art and some other bits that I'd seen that were promoting it. You have got the usual shield, You have got the beam rifle as well. I quite like the iteration of the beam rifle in this one. It is a little bit different from the ones where you see with the RX-782s and stuff, but I liked it. I appreciated the difference in that. All I would say is that the model is a little bit underwhelming because of the size, because of the sort of stature of the model itself. And I still can't get over the fact that it is very, very pink and not really that red. Don't think it really matches up with the box art, is my honest opinion. But that aside, it's a fairly decent model. When it comes to value, this thing was £19.99. I actually think that's fairly expensive for a HG model that doesn't live up to the hype. Now, I think at this point, the argument between a good HG model and a bad HG model and value for it being anywhere between sort of £12 for a HG model, and you can pay up to about £25–30 for a HG model as well. I think this is just okay. I'm not over the moon with the value. I think there is some value in the weaponry that's been given as well. I can have that side of it. But when you look at this as a specific model against some of the other stuff that's out there, if you were just to pay a couple of pound more, you'd be looking at getting an RG 782 version 2. I know you can pick them up from IntoTheHobbyverse for about £24. So I think given that option, I would definitely be pushing people down that route rather than this HG. But if you're into the G-Cracks line, I can see you being excited about this, and that's completely fine. I don't want to really rain on anybody's parade with it. I'm just saying that from the hype of thinking this was going to be, it's a newer, more modern HG, so that led me down the garden path of thinking it was going to be really, really cool. And then with it being a part of the G-Cracks line, which everybody's been raving about, I just thought it was okay. So value-wise, I think it's all right. It's not amazing value for money is what I would say. Brings me to the conclusion. I enjoyed making this. It didn't take ages to make it. In the end, it was about 3 or 4 hours to make it. It didn't take me ages to line it either. I thought that was quite good. The whole thing was really enjoyable and probably done within about 4 hours. I think it was a good model. It isn't one that I'm now massively excited about putting on my shelf, and it's not one I can say to you, hands down, I recommend it to you. I think if you like the G-Cracks line, if you understand what you're getting into with this, a couple of different weapons, something that requires a stand in order to get the best out of it for a cool Gundam pose, and you're after a more modern HG, then this is probably good for you. I enjoyed it, but I can't recommend it to the point where you need to go out and buy it. It's a considered buy. If that ticks a couple of boxes for you, I would say get it, give it a go. I'm more intrigued to see what some of the Witch from Mercury line is like in the HGs. I have heard amazing things about them. I have got one to try, and I'm going to build that and see what that's like and maybe compare those two lines. There's a couple more of the models coming out for the G-Cracks line. That should be interesting to see what they're like. And it's always good to see that Bandai are pushing these initiatives out and they're trying to get some new lines. We can't stay stale with some of the old stuff. As much as I've built several of the RX-782s now, I have to accept that things are going to change. Sometimes they're going to be for the better and sometimes they're going to be for worse. This one is mediocre, is the way I would put it. But, that's only my opinion. What do you guys think? I know this was recommended by one of the viewers. Thank you very much for making that recommendation. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I gave it a go, and I'm just sorry that I maybe didn't enjoy it as much as you did. Have I missed anything? Is there anything that you guys think is worth telling people before they buy it? We're a community, we should be sharing that information. I'm not the source of all knowledge. I'm here really to show you what I thought of something that I was building along the way and just share my honest opinion with you. If you liked the video, please do click the like button. It means a lot to me. Over 1,000 likes now on the channel. Really excited to be able to say that. And subscribers wise, we're heading towards that 500 like I said I wanted to get to, so thank you. If you've been watching the videos and you've been putting messages down in the comments box and you've been subscribing, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. If there's anything that you want to see me do, I'm up for any kind of recommendations for any of the Gundam models or anything similar as well. I do make other models. I do look at other stuff outside of Bandai. So whether it's inside Bandai or out, do give me a shout down in the comments and let me know what you think I should be looking at. Always up for a recommend. So until next time, I just say, look after yourselves. I hope you are managing to get some modelling done, and I'll see you soon.